Head coach Jim Yarbrough talking about the latest signees for the Southeastern basketball program, Devonte Upson and Andrew Guillory. And coach, going in trying to replace some size from Roosevelt Johnson, and you get a pretty big one here in Devonte Upson, 6'9", 205, a good rebounder and a guy who can score.
No doubt. We have some big shoes to fill. We had a good senior class. Brandon Fortenberry, Roosevelt Johnson, Todd Nelson, all very big contributors in our success this year in conference play. And so getting some more signees in the spring was very important. Devonte Upson, a big guy in the middle, maybe not the most muscular center in the world, but a good athlete, maybe on the level of an Ochi, good shot blocker, good timing off the floor. And we think a guy who is very hungry to be better. And we believe if he gets in here in summer and fall and works very hard, he's got a chance to be a good one for us. And we'll look for major contribution from him right from the beginning.
He's a guy that competed up in Colorado, pretty good junior college league up there. 19 games he scored in double figures and 5 double-doubles. We looked at his numbers, scoring numbers, 16 points a couple of times, but a guy who can pull down rebounds, pulled down 17 in the ball game, and you talked about shot blocking, second in his conference in shot blocking. Of course, the guy ahead of him committed to Southern Miss, so a really good athlete, but from the Panhandle of Texas.
Well, you're looking for a young man who can, improve and get better, and we see that in Devonte. A lot of times there's a lot of Division I size out there, but you're not sure if that player can come through and be a scorer or rebounder or do a couple of good jobs for you. We think he can affect the game right at the rim, defensively, offensively, and we believe we can help him develop a couple more developed or mature moves and become more of a scoring threat. He certainly has the ability to tip back and jump up and jump hook. We think we can get more points from him and be a more consistent scorer, but he certainly does a good job rebounding, blocking shots. And of course, Roosevelt's best gift was he was a great rebounder and one of the best ever, one of the top 10 in school history. So his ability to change the game right at the rim will be very important for us.
You talked about losing Brandon Fortenberry and Todd Nelson, and you pick up a guy, Andrew Guillory, 6'3", 200 pounds from Fort Worth, Texas, and a guy who scored, started 30 games last year at Hill College, just under 14 points a ball game, but very consistent on the year. 25 games scoring in double figures, 5 games at 20 plus, including a 25-point ball game. But a guy who had really good field goal numbers, 53% from the floor, but good shooting from outside as well, 43% from beyond the arc.
A year ago, last summer in July, when we saw him play, in my notes, I went back and looked recently, and it said one of the more focused players in the event. I just was really impressed at how he focused on his teammates and how he was focused in the game. He's a guy who had nearly 100 assists, so he can create for others. He's a guard who can play in a couple different positions for sure. You can plug him in maybe the 1, 2, or the 3. He can guard at a couple different positions. He's good on the ball. He's good off the ball. I just love his completeness as a player. I think he can plug in with different combinations on the floor. I think he's just got great maturity. I think with what we have coming with Josh Fillmore from the fall, I think really good, options of ball handling, ball passing, ball security, shooting the ball. Andrew just brings a lot of completeness to his game as a basketball player, and seems to be a guy who wants to be mature and successful. And the irony was, in that camp we watched him, he played with Devonte Upson on the same team, and we did not realize that till probably a few weeks ago, that as we went back through our evaluations, they had actually played together. We liked them at the same camp and followed them, one in Texas, one in Colorado. But we're very pleased with both. Andrew brings us, I think, some good maturity, which, of course, with a Brandon Fortenberry and a Todd Nelson, when you lose that, you want to bring continued stability and guard depth, which we need. And we think we've accomplished that with Andrew.
And of course, you still got you're still looking to get some players coming in, and so still not done yet, but still
a
little more to do, and really try to fill the void right there left by those 3 main players right there in Brandon Rowe and Todd Nelson. I know a little bit more. You want to talk about some other things as well, but overall as a group, 2 guys, especially areas that you wanted to address heading into this year.
Well, I really like Josh Fillmore, the guard we signed in the fall. Was very well coached. Really is even far better than we had hoped for. I think he's really going to bring for a high school kid coming in as to be a freshman in college. I think he's going to bring a great maturity in his game. Shoots it really well, drives it really well. At 5'11" to 6 foot range. Of course, he'll have to continue to get stronger, but I think he's going to do a good job. Devonte Upson brings us on the other end of the spectrum, a very tall, long player. maybe not Patrick Sullivan, but in that same vein. The length that we've had around here from time to time, and I think that's going to be good. And then Andrew Guillory brings us a really good basketball player with maturity, and I think all of them complement the core group we have coming back and give us a chance to be right back in the hunt again to chase another Southland title. So far I'm very pleased, but a little bit more to do to make it as strong a class as possible.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Coach.
Yep.